So with physical Piccolo's Easy A out in game, there are a lot of people talking about who is the best Easy A to you are now. I would say it is a little divisive in the community, and there are basically two main culprits. It is this physical Piccolo and this S tier Blue Kaioken Goku. I just brought up these options just to talk about them real quick. I don't think any of these four are in contention for, like, you know, the strongest easy ATUR, but they each have their own, like, unique abilities that I feel like do make them really, really good, and are you know, just like honorable mentions, right? This guy has his great chance to dodge, guaranteed crit. Issue with him is, you know, I feel like, you know, there are some situations where he may not be able to dodge, right? And then his overall, like, power in terms of defense and offense, I don't think are as strong as what these guys are contributing. You know, this guy has his support, which is really, really strong. This guy does have, again, his support, basically, which is really, really strong, along with defense stacking. Because this guy has, like, his damage reduction. This unit, the issue with him is that he's actually, like, this guy's actually probably stronger than these three, but you have to get to, like, turn 5, and that's a lot. And then you have, like, LR Super Brew now, so that's the issue with this guy, right? But the difference between these guys and then these two is that these two are doing something that kind of affect the game in a way where it's not just like, I'm supporting, I'm giving stats, right? 17 does that a little bit with the damage reduction, but at the end of the day, it's still kind of like, you know, supporting, right? This unit is revealing enemy super attacks and healing you. And then this unit, I guess he just kind of kills everything, right? So it's like, as an active skill, right? Like, Esther Cooler has an active skill, but the rest of his units don't have an active skill. This is something that's kind of like, you could do at the start of turn, like, before the enemy just even is able to attack you. You could just use this guy's active skill, and he blows the enemy away, and he is still supporting the best kind, like, this is like the best kind of support, probably, right? Because the 30% attack right there is multiplicative, and it's really, really powerful. So that's one thing to consider, right? Now I feel like Piccolo more so is doing something that controls an important aspect of the game, while this Blue Kaioken is more so like forcing the enemy to die, right? And that's pretty much how it is. This Blue Kaioken Goku could pretty much kill every single, like, boss in the game himself, like, in one turn. It's really, really insane if you do have him set up properly. But the issue with him is this: he has a Representatives Universe 7, you know, 3 other units restriction. And right now, again, this category is not really too great. I mean, funny enough, Physical 17 himself helps out Blue Kaioken quite a lot. Like, you could run this guy, and then AJUY and STRUY, and then that's probably your best hope in most situations for the Spirit Bomb. Unfortunately, this guy, I feel like, honestly, they probably were just scared of him because of this guy somehow. I guess that's what it was. Maybe they didn't realize how strong this guy actually was when they made him, and they're like, oh, well, he's actually kind of a bit too much, and then they made this guy suck, right? Who knows, right? And this guy, he doesn't actually have as big of a restriction because Namekians has been getting, like, a gajillion units, right? Like, if we take a look at Namekians, we have Orange Piccolo, we have the STR Piccolo here, we have the Numa Junior. I mean, if you're running this guy as a leader, he counts himself, and I think this guy could be run as a leader. I haven't done a video on it yet, but it probably will be out today. I want to do like a Namekians team, maybe throw Worthy Rivals in there, yeah, but probably full Namekians. I think we could beat, like, a difficult red zone, like Broly maybe, and then we put Demon King Piccolo on there. Could probably be like the Broly red zone with, like, Piccolo's team, pretty simply, right? But anyways, regarding that, right, Namekians is in a much easier spot, and you only need one Namekian category compared to needing 3 of these guys, right? So I did make a poll here on Twitter, and we're gonna take a look at some of Twitter's responses, you know, some of the community's ideas of, okay, is Goku Blue Kaioken better, or is Piccolo, you know, like, fusing with Kami unit better? And it's actually pretty clear cut what the community is thinking right here. So I'll refresh over time, but you can see 1,881 votes, 73% of that think that Piccolo is better. while only 26.8% think that Blue Kaioken better. Now that is still like a lot of people, right? 26% is not obviously that much of a higher number, but that's about 30% about of 1.8k votes, right? That's quite a lot, right? For sure. So a lot of people do believe that Piccolo is better. About I can't even speak apparently. A lot of 600 people in this vote basically think that Blue Kaioken's better, while the other 1200 think that Piccolo's better. Now, we'll take a look at what people are saying. But I do think this is fair, right? This poll should be made after the global anniversary where people never actually got to use Blue Kaioken. Most of those people are global players that never use Blue Kaioken and don't know how broken he is firsthand. And I think that is a very fair comparison because a lot of people change their opinions once they're actually able to use the unit in the game compared to seeing them in just like videos, or compared to even using them like on a private server, like having them on your own account, and then like, you know, the varying dupe levels, and then, you know, being able to set your own specific like hidden potential system set up, right? That's very important, because I know in the private server a lot of times you can't set the equipment, you can't set the hidden potential setup that you would like for the unit, and that could very much influence your opinion on how the unit is in game, right? And just having the unit yourself just feels different, you know. I think that's the same for a lot of people. Now, honestly, because I believe hidden potential system is like great specifically in the like private servers. So like this guy wants full additional, this guy I think wants full additional too. So that's the thing. But I definitely think that that is a completely fair comparison. But it's just because people haven't used them doesn't mean that they can't get at least a general understanding of how good he is. Maybe I'll make the poll again when Blue Kaioken Goku comes out. At that point, though, maybe we could have another, you know, easy ATU, where like maybe Jiren is like stupid and he's like by far best TR or something. Like, who knows? Like there's something like that could happen. Maybe we get like a really strong Buu Saga easy for Tanabata, if that's Buu Saga or something, right? We'll see. Now, through quotes here. After usage, you gotta say Blue Kaioken, considering he makes a dead team run on its own. Bosses can't handle him. And I feel like that's a very fair point. Like even though you have to carry these 3 dead units, he like, well, I can't say 3 because 17 is actually good, but he carries it, right? And it runs perfectly fine even with him as a leader, which is quite cool, right? That this guy's able to basically resurrect just a team all by himself because of the pure output that he's able to do. But at the same time, you could say he's held back by this as well, because one of those units, like the UIs get touched and you're dead. You know, if you have to run like Age of God Goku, you know, a lot of times he gets touched and he's dead, right? 17, if you don't enter a lower HP, he could get pieced up a little bit, but honestly, on this team, you're likely going to be on lower HP anyways, which is kind of what you want to aim for. So that's one thing. I mean, you could say, hey, I kind of like running the dead units. It makes the spirit bomb easier. Piccolo, but when Universe 7 gets substantial buffs, Goku will clearly be better. But even now, you prefer Goku because you like the big damage numbers. And that's fair. At the end of the day, it's, you know, your own personal opinion. Blue Kaioken because you don't have dupes in Piccolo. Let's see. They're two complete opposites. Piccolo has a defensive juggernaut, whilst he has a scouter. Meanwhile, Kaioken Goku is good defensively, but doing everything faster so they can kill him. So Piccolo seems more consistent. I think that's fair, right? I think Piccolo, overall, using him, I do think that even if you get like a minimal amount of stacks, like 2-3 stacks, he still transforms. And mine personally is around like 450 to 500k defense ish, like in that general area. I haven't really seen him lower than that. And like if I'm running a setup that, like, you know, kind of help him out, maybe give him cold judgment like with Gamma 1, you know, support, have this guy next to Orange Piccolo, and then he gets the 50% on super attack, then he's like at 750k defense with 40% reduction, and then he has a scout. Right? It's like, it's very easy for this guy right here to be just really, really stupid. That's one thing too. And the scouter is just such a strong ability that you always have, every single turn you have the scouter. Well, this guy's spirit bomb, you know, it does more, but it's only in the final phase. Ideally, you would want to use this, right? One that does more damage. Okay, it seems like there's a lot of more comments defending Blue Kaioken than there is the votes here, huh? Okay. As the biggest Blue Kaioken EZA defender, Piccolo, within a year, units will do what Blue Kaioken does on a Spirit Bomb turn, flat out turn 1 with a Scouter, and stacking defense will still be unique. That's fair, right? I think that Piccolo, it is good to consider how well a unit will age when it comes to like EZAs too, because it's not like, this guy could get another EZA. Well, he could technically, right? We'll see. But for now, it's not like he can get another EZA in the future. And it is good because this is the final buff for the unit, and it's always helpful for like a unit to age better, because like, oh, at least this unit I could be using in like 3 years, which does matter, right? Because that means that usually if a unit ages better, they have a more unique and better design, right? But as of now, currently, like, you could say, well, Blue Kaioken is stronger now, and even though eventually this guy could be better, this Blue Kaioken Goku influences the game more, and that is also a good point to make, right? Just to play devil's advocate. By the way, if I haven't made it clear personally who I like better. I don't know, actually. They're very even, because, again, someone said, right, but this guy's the offensive version, and this guy's like a defensive version. I would say I like this guy maybe a little better. I just like his, at least with my personal experience, I built this guy 30 additional. The defense stacking gets really, really high very quickly. And I really love the Scouter to be able to correctly foretell on how exactly you could use it. Because the thing with this guy is that many times I've had the Scouter come up where it's like, okay, otherwise I would have transformed this guy because I was scared of a super attack. And then, oh, there's actually no super attack here, so I don't have to transform him, I can get more stacks. And then now he's stronger against the enemy super attack whenever I do have to transform with him, if he's the unit that has to get hit by the super attack. And then on top of that, that also counts for, let's say, Orange Piccolo's giant form. If I'm on turn 6, there's no super attack, then it's like, okay, I don't really have to use Orange Piccolo's giant form. I could save it for the upcoming turn where I may need to actually use the giant form because there's a super attack there, and I could just protect like my floating unit. Like, let's say if the super attack is in the 3rd slot, a lot of bosses super attack multiple times per turn, right? That's one thing. And for those bosses, Piccolo helps a lot, like against the Sunmax Red Zone. They're like, okay, well, I see all the super attacks are spread. Let me, use the Orange Piccolo to skip this turn or something like that, right? There's a lot of value in that, right? And it protects your, I feel like, whole rotation more consistently than what this guy is doing. Because this guy just nukes the enemy, but if he's not able to kill the enemy somehow, then you're kind of stuck, right? Whereas this guy, it's like you already made the move beforehand, and you're most likely just 100% safe, right? And again, the same thing about the partners here. Piccolo, Blue Kaioken can do a lot more. His entire team is in danger, so you're running a huge risk running him. And then even he could die because his defense isn't that high with guard. Yeah, there are situations where, his guard could lead him to potentially die, right? Especially if he's basically like your slot 1 unit you kind of want to run there, because he wants to build up as well. Piccolo feels safer to use in the team with a lot in healing scare. Yeah, exactly what I said, I feel. Global player, so Piccolo. For now, Piccolo, once Goku gets more units than him. This is a different debate. I think you can make the argument, though. Maybe I'll make a video on that. Let me know if y'all want to see that, right? You voted for Blue Kaioken. The way he transforms the game when he does so stupid, he gets solo any boss. Piccolo got your utility, yeah. Again, Blue Kaioken had help, he'd be 1. A lot of the same comments here. A lot of units need to take hits to build up, and you're not. Yeah, that's good too, right? So many units need to receive attacks to build up. Even Orange Piccolo himself, though, like Orange Piccolo himself doesn't really have to worry about it. Like, he's on a lot of these teams, like, Earthbred Fighters, for example, right? I'm sure Earthbred Fighters has like 1 billion units that need to take hits to build up his stats, right? And it's like him having the Scouter, you can know where you could, build up your units safely. Like if there's a bunch of attacks in slots 1, and then there's 1 attack in slot 2, and the slot 2 attack has a super, then you could safely put a unit in slot 1 to build them up. Like, perfect example, actually, I just thought about this unit. I actually don't own this unit, that's why I first didn't think about it, but this guy, right? He's a Battle Wits 200% category leader. Like, he's honestly just the best Battle Wits leader because he gives the whole category full 200%. So if you want to run this Piccolo on Battle of Wits, right, you could very much help him get built up easily. And then when this guy has his Scouter, that means that you could basically have a scouter in every single turn, right? If you keep them on the other rotation, and it's like you never can die, right? Roshi is the unit that wants to receive attacks as well. There's if you have Piccolo on a team with the GT duo, they want to receive 4 attacks for their like on the Earthbred Fighters team. You can run this physical Piccolo on this Tech Goku team, and then you could have the GT duo potentially take attacks a lot more easy. Actually, he's on this team, but they're on the powerful comeback team, right? And then you could have this unit take those 4 attacks that they need, and they're really, really good. But that's all I have to say. I don't think there's even much. Hey, Jokojito Blue, no. Piccolo, well, your RNG's been bad. Piccolo's more usable, but Blue Kaioken Soul's a dead team. You say Blue Kaioken has stronger design. Okay. There's a lot more Blue Kaioken defense, and there's some extra votes here. There's a lot more of a Blue Kaioken defense I'm seeing in the comments than there is in the vote. So I think generally people like Piccolo better, but I think the Blue Kaioken fans are more outspoken, I guess, right? A lot of them are giving good comments. But at the end of the day, it's like, obviously, like, compared to the 18,000 votes we had, I say 18,000, but the 1,800 votes we had, only 47 people responded, well, 50 compared to the actual quotes here, but you guys get the point. It's a very small sample of the actual true, like, player-based mind, but let me know what y'all think. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out.